Good afternoon. My name is Johnny, and I'm the owner of Freedom Market Pro Incorporated. We are a credit repair company. And the purpose of this video is what I'd like to do is take time to give you a complete breakdown and explanation of how our program and our process works. First things first, we want to go over your reports with you. We ask you a few questions initially to find out exactly where you are as far as your credit is concerned. We ask, number one, have you worked with anyone in the past? That's important because we want to know if someone's promised you something and they haven't done it. Because the one thing that separates us from every other company in this industry is integrity. I will not allow anyone that works for us to bring anyone on board if we can't help them. And we know that on the initial conversation. First question, have you worked with anyone? And either that tells me a couple of things about that company if you have. Number one, they can care less about repairing your credit, they're more only concerned about the money, or they just didn't tell you the truth. Number two, what's your credit score? That gives me an idea of where you are and what we can do for you. Number three, what do you have that you're currently paying on at that moment? That's important because there are a lot of people that just don't understand that they have to have something that they're consistently paying on their credit reports each month in order to see that credit score increase. If you have absolutely nothing reporting on your credit reports, there's no way you're going to see a 650, 700 credit score because there's no history. And then finally, I ask, what is it that you know on your credit reports is the thing that's hurting you the most? That's important because I want to know what you understand as far as your credit is concerned. At that point, we take a look at your reports. We go through the reports. There's several different ways in which we're able to do that. We take a look at just one. We don't need to take a look at all three because one gives us an idea of where you are as far as your reports and scores are concerned. And at that point, we'll give you a 100% answer or a definite answer on if in fact we can help you. In most cases, we can. But if we can't, we're not going to waste your time and not going to waste your money, and we're going to let you know that we can. Now, a couple of things that are necessary in order to start with the repair process. Number one, we have to remove negative information from your credit reports. And I'll explain how we do that in just a moment. But number two, again, just like I said a moment ago, you have to have something, excuse me, that's consistently reporting on your credit reports in order to see your credit score increase. We've got to build. We've got to make sure that you have something on your credit reports that you're paying. Or if not, we have a few tools that we give you to place on those credit reports to get the building process started. And then, of course, throughout the duration of the time we work together, we teach you what else is necessary to add on to your reports. Now, there are three things that we do in order to repair your credit. Number one, we look for errors on behalf of the credit bureaus. I'll explain that in just a moment. Number two, we challenge the accuracy of all the other negative information on the reports. And then finally, we settle the accounts. Let's start with number one, errors. Most people don't know this, but 79% of credit reports in this country have problems or errors, and it's not your fault. It's the fault of the credit bureau, simply meaning they're reporting the wrong information. Give an example. Let's say we go through your report and I say, John or Susie, I see this particular account on your credit reports and it shows that you owe this balance. You say, wait a minute, that is my account, but the balance is wrong and I have proof that it's wrong. Well, guess what? That's an error. And the reason that's so important is because the law states that credit bureaus are only authorized to report accurate information. And if a balance is wrong or an account number is wrong, well, guess what? That's not accurate. So that gives us grounds to demand that they remove it from the reports. That's number one. Number two, we challenge the accuracy of all the other negative information on the credit reports. Let me give you an example of that. Let's say last year you had to go into the emergency room. And with that emergency room visit, now you do have a $2,000 hospital bill on your credit reports. Well, you know that you were in the hospital on that particular day, but the credit bureaus, they don't know anything. They're just reporting information. So what we do is we send a letter challenging the accuracy of that hospital bill, and we demand that they prove that it's yours. Why? Because the law also states that if they're reporting anything on your reports, that they've got to be able to prove it. So we send a letter stating, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, you're reporting this $2,000 hospital bill on my credit reports. You need to provide me some proof that it's mine. If they can't either provide documentation proving that it's yours or prove that they were able to verify this reporting accurately, guess what? They've got to take it off. Now, we never said anything in that letter about it not being your bill because we know it's yours. We know that you were in the hospital last year and you created a $2,000 bill. The only thing we're asking is for proof, which is your right by law if they're reporting it on your credit reports. And at number 3, we settle the accounts. Let me give an example of that. Let's say we take a look at your credit reports and there's an old credit card bill that went into collection and everything is reporting accurately and they were able to prove that it's yours and that bill is for $400. I give you a call, I say, listen, I think we've got to pay or settle this account in order to have it removed from your reports. And here's how we do that. Me and you both contact that particular company or collection agency on our phone lines. We call them up, we let them know that we're recording the conversation because we want to have proof. I also inform them that I'm an advocate working for you and that we're calling to settle the account. We get the proper individual on the phone. I let them know that, listen, we'd like to settle the account for X amount of dollars. They agree. They say, yes, we'll take it. At that point, the next thing I say is very important. I ask them, once this account is settled, it will be completely wiped clean and removed from the credit reports, correct? They tell me yes. Now we've got them on recording, agreeing to remove it from the reports, but I take it a step further. I ask them to send documentation in writing, either via email or regular mail, directly to you, informing you that this account will be removed from the reports once it's settled and paid. Now, when you pay it or when you settle it, you want to pay it using your debit card. And the purpose behind that is whenever anyone processes a payment on your credit or on your debit card, it shows up on your bank statement. That's your receipt. Now we have a receipt that you paid them. We have a recording of them agreeing to remove it from the reports, and we also have a letter in hand stating that they will remove it once it's been settled. Now it has to come off the reports. So we purposely do that to cover our rear ends. We want to make sure that we have all the proof that we need in order to have this removed, if in fact the company decides that they're not going to remove it, even after you paid it. So we make sure that we have the proof that we need. Guys, that's it. 3 things we do. Number 1, we look for errors on behalf of the credit bureaus and we demand that they remove it because of their mistake. Number 2, we challenge the accuracy of all the other negative information and we demand that they prove that it's yours. And number 3, we settle the accounts. Coupled together with the credit builder tools that we discussed, if in fact you don't have anything appearing on your credit reports that you're paying, you will see an increase in your credit score. There's no question. Now, the one thing that we will not promise you that we'll do, and we don't promise anyone this, is that we're going to remove every single negative item on your reports. Now, it's possible, but it doesn't happen all the time. But what we will promise you is by the time it's all said and done, by the time you've completed our program, we'll make sure that you're in perfect position as far as your scores and your reports are concerned to do whatever it is you're looking to do. Whether it's buying a house, purchasing a new car, getting a loan to do some home improvements, it doesn't matter. We want to make sure, we will make sure that you're in perfect position to do whatever it is you're looking to do. Finally, guys, this is another thing that separates us from everyone else. The most important thing that we do is we teach you how to properly manage your credit. Well, there are a lot of companies out there. I'll be the first to tell you, there are hundreds or thousands of companies out there. But they don't go through each and every month what appears on your reports, what you need to change, what you need to continue doing. They'll do what they do, and then you don't know what happened, and maybe 6 months to a year later, you've got to call them back because you're back in the same situation. We don't want that. We want to make sure that once you completed our program, you have it. You got it. I mean, you got it to the T. You know what needs to be done each month. You know what you need to keep your credit card balances down. You know how to build your credit. So every month, when we update your credit reports, we give you a call and we go over everything that we see. We tell you what you're doing right. We tell you what you're doing wrong. We tell you what needs to be changed. We tell you what needs to be added. And by doing that on a consistent basis each month, guess what? When we're all done, you got it. You'll never need anyone else again. You know what you need to do to continually see your credit score increase. Now, the cost of our program. We are actually one of the cheapest in the industry. Only $99 per month. That's it. Now, the $1 million question that everyone asks me is, how long is it going to take before we're all done? The answer to that question is the average client is with us between 6 to 9 months. Sometimes it happens in 3 to 5 months. It all depends on what's on your credit reports. But the average person is with us between 6 to 9 months. There's one other cost that's involved. We don't like to hold anything back. We want to tell you everything up front. And this money does not go to us. We get your credit reports. we get the reports from a monitoring service. That costs us $24.95 a month. And why that's so important is every month we hit a button. We get an import of all 3 reports. It gives us a report on the items that still remain on your reports, the items that have been removed, the score increases. Now they also notify you concerning any changes that have taken place on the reports. That way, we're all on the same page at the same time. Guys, that's the complete breakdown and explanation of our program. My name is Johnny Riles. I'm the owner of Freedom Market Pro Incorporated. You can reach me directly at 954-741-7006. My direct extension is 101. Now, one final thing that I want to share with you, and this is another thing that separates us from everyone else. When you start with an individual in our company, that's the person that you'll talk to throughout the duration of your term working with us. We don't switch you from Tom to Susie to Jerry to Johnny. You stay with the same person. The reason that's so important is because you guys have built history. You both understand what's going on. So if you start with me with our program, you're going to remain with me. If you start with any of our other employees, you're going to remain with that individual that you start with. We're not going to switch you from Peter to Paul to Mary. You'll stay with the same person. Guys, I thank you so much for giving me this few moments to break down our program and explain to you how it works. We look forward to seeing you. You're definitely able to go and take a look at our website. Our website is www.freedommarketpro.com. That's Freedom Market Pro with only one M in between the freedom and the market, .com. And of course, you can also take a look at our Facebook page. There you'll see several hundreds of results from our clients. You'll see testimonials. You're able to visit our Facebook page at the @, first word freedom, second word market, third word pro, 3 words, Freedom Market Pro. God bless. We look forward to helping you. And guys, have a great rest of the day. Take care.